In this video, we're going to see a lot of great free stock photograph files. So as opposed to vectors, these are actual pixel-based photographs. And just to reiterate, some of these sites might require you to log in before you can download, and these are the details that you're going to use. First, try the username of GEVODP, and then password Chikimo. If that doesn't work, then they obviously want the email. So for the username, just put this email address and then Chikimo, and you should be able to log in and download images without a problem. If you find that we aren't signed up to any site that you find, please just let me know and I will sign us up. The first site I wanted to show you was morgfile.com, and incidentally, all of these image download sites work in very much the same way. So you've logged in, well, in fact this one you don't actually have to log in, but you can do any kind of a site search, so you can search for anything you want, or you can just use a filter. So if you click on categories, you can choose various categories, etc., etc. I often find the easiest thing is just to do a search. So for example, I could search for something like landmarks. And just one thing I wanted to show you, on a lot of these photographic stock image sites, the free ones work in a way where they offer a certain number of images for free, and then they'll have what's called a sponsored link. And so on the same pages, they will also show you files from paid for sites. So here we see the active tab is Morgfile. So these are all free. And then the way they actually make their money is they have another tab here for this Dreams Time option. And this takes you to files which are on the Dreams Time site, but these ones you actually have to pay for. So you just want to watch out for that. Make sure that you don't click on the paid for sponsored link. And if you go back to Morgfile, you can go down here and find any of these landmark images. And the great thing about stock image websites is that everything you find is going to be really, really high quality. So you've got all these great files here. And then you can just click on one to see some kind of a preview. So as you can see, this is a really high quality file, and what's great about this is that it is absolutely free. As you can see here, you are allowed to copy, distribute, transmit the work, and adapt it. And very important, attribution is not required. So some of these sites allow you to use images for free, but anytime you use them, there has to be a reference to the author's name and a link back to this website, which is a little bit difficult for us, so that's really something that you want to kind of avoid. It often helps to look at the file info, especially regarding the license, whenever you download them, and all of these sites will have information for each file. Now the important thing is, you might be tempted to just right click and go save image. In fact, for this one it doesn't actually allow you to do that. That's not what you want to do, because then you're just going to download this small preview. What you want to do is click the actual download link and then download it that way. So I'm going to save this file, I choose a location and just click save. Now just to show you the kind of quality files that you get from stock image sites, I've opened up the file we've just downloaded in GIMP, and as you can see, it already looks bigger than the preview over here. And if you actually go to image, scale image, we can see that if we change this to millimeters, it's over 1,000 millimeters wide, which is more than a meter wide. But note that our resolution is set to 72. If you're going to use this in a PowerPoint, then 72 is the resolution that you want. But if you're going to print this, then you want a resolution of 300. So I could click scale, and then if I go back to the scale image command, you can see that it's now at a resolution of 300, still almost 300 millimeters wide. So this is almost 30 centimeters wide, and that's a fantastic starting point. And this is actually quite a small image in this case. You'll find images that are much bigger. The point is, if you now want to scale this up to the size of, for example, an A3 piece of paper, we could make the height 297. Click scale. And this image is now going to fit perfectly onto an A3 piece of paper. And if you go into a zoom of 100%, you see that the quality is really, really, really good. So on stock image sites, you're only really going to find good quality images, and you're not going to have to worry about that fuzzy edge and pixelation when you increase the size, etc., etc. So I'm just quickly going to go over a few other really great sites. Stock Exchange is another brilliant one. You've got tons and tons of options. Again, if they ask you to sign in, you have the details that you need. And you can go by categories, or you can just search. Thirdly, we have freestockphotos.biz. Works in exactly the same way. And just remember, once again, always to watch out for those sponsored links. You want to click on the free ones and not the ones that come in from a site like Dreamscape that you actually have to pay for. And you can click on something like food. And you've just got tons and tons of really high quality images of food that you can use, etc., etc. The fourth option is stockvault.net. Once again, this has a free photo search, so you could go for something like hamburger, say. And you get all kinds of images of hamburgers, and once again, these are all going to be really good quality. And you get these nice previews. And notice here, this is just a good example of where you get the premium stock. So all the images under this premium stock photos are going to cost you money. And this is actually going to take you to the site Dreamstime. And they have another link over here. So they're really trying to advertise this site because that's how they make their money. But you have these 7 free options, and some of them are really good. The fifth option is Free Photos Bank. And again,
I got your attention,
works in exactly the same way. You can turn off this annoying flash ad. And once again, you just search, you can use your categories, and you're going to find tons and tons of high quality free images over here as well. And openphoto.net, yet another fantastic free stock photo website. And once again, works in the same way. You are also going to get links to something like Dreamstime, where you have to pay for photos, but just watch out for those. And then lastly, I wanted to show you Dreamstime itself. This is a commercial site, so you have to pay for a lot of the stuff, but if you log in, so I'll go GEVODP and password Chikimo, you can log in, and you'll see here that there's a free images tab. So now you can search for free images, and you're going to find a lot of good stuff on here as well. So we could go for something like spaceship. And there you get all the free images that come up for spaceship. In this particular case, maybe we didn't get the perfect results, but somewhere between these sites you're going to find a really good spaceship option. And then they'll also always give you some commercial ones in case they want to try and persuade you to just buy an account. So those are a bunch of excellent resources for downloading photographic images, and between this and the vector options, you really shouldn't have any problems again finding images to work very quickly and easily, and best of all, they'll be high quality and completely legal for you to use.